Greetings and blessings, and welcome. Welcome back to The Sweet Spot. You're listening to Dr. Derek Sweet. I'm your host here on The Sweet Spot. You know I'm a board-certified psychiatrist. Those of you who have been listening to The Sweet Spot over the past few years, a couple of years now, we've been doing The Sweet Spot. It's been fun. It's been fun being your teammate in the game of life. And we go back and forth. We exchange ideas and thoughts, and we unpack it here on The Sweet Spot, where we blend science, soul, and success. So look, what do I have for you this week? This week we're going to do a series called The Standard. Yes, I've spent years working with people whose decisions carry weight. Athletes, leaders, high performers, people operating under pressure. But more than my day job, I'm your teammate in the game of life. And every day on this platform, we build something together. Because every one of you listening, everybody listening to this is responsible for something. Every one of us is a performer. We're on the team. Somebody depends on you to show up, right? Somebody depends on your judgment, your discipline, your energy, and your consistency. It matters. Your presence matters to someone. And whether people realize it or not, having responsibility like that creates pressure. And that's why we call this series The Standard. Because a standard is not your best day. It's not your highlight reel. It's not even who you're being when everything else feels easy. The standard is who you are consistently. The standard is how you move when nobody is clapping for you. The standard is how you respond when you're tired, when you feel uncertain, when you're frustrated, you're irritated. The standard is about who you are when you're distracted, you're not in the game, your mind's not here, or you're feeling down, despaired, or discouraged. And here's the thing in performance. Most people don't lose because they lack talent. You know why they lose? They lose because their emotions keep interrupting their standards. And they're not even aware of that connection. So every day this week, Sweet Spotter, we're going to talk about the habits, the mindsets, the behaviors, and the mental shifts that help us move with intention under pressure. Because you see, that's the goal. We don't need to be perfect. It's not about perfection. It's about movement. Today is Making Moves Monday. Today is Making Moves Monday. And we're talking about one of the biggest traps that keep getting people stuck. And that's waiting to feel ready. Yeah, a lot of people are waiting on a vibe. Waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for certainty, waiting for the fear to go away, to disappear before they make their move. That's their standard. Waiting for something to shift so that they can make a move. And meanwhile, time keeps ticking away anyway. Time just keeps on moving. So some of you listening out there already know the move you need to make. You know the conversation you need to have. You know the application you need to file, the workout you need to be doing, the business idea that you've been incubating forever. You know the book that you're writing. I speak to myself. You know the changes you want to make. You know the boundaries you want to set. You've got a first step to make. There's something you've got to do. But you keep waiting for the feeling. And here's what life teaches us eventually. The feeling comes after the move. That feeling that we're looking for, that sense of satisfaction, that sense of I'm ready, it comes usually after we make the move, not before. That's the part nobody ever told me. I never knew that. I had to learn that I had to move first. And most people think confidence is what creates action. Like, I'll just get confident, I'll grow my power, my confidence, and then I'll act. In reality, action is what creates the confidence and the evidence. You see, action creates evidence. Once you take a step, you take an action, you actually create a body of evidence. And when you have evidence, that's when the confidence comes. Confidence, in a way, is evidence. It's kind of crazy to say that. And that's why movement here on Making Moves Monday is so important to us. Because movement changes your emotional state faster than overthinking ever will. I've tried it. I can think myself into and out of all kinds of things, but it's not until I make the move that I see the difference. You can think about changing your life for 6 months and you'll still feel anxious at the end of 6 months if that's all you did was think about it. Or you can make one difficult move today and immediately feel your energy shift. Movement, sweet spotter, creates momentum. Stillness creates anxiety. Here's something I've learned working with high performers that I want to share with you. A lot of folks are not actually stuck. You know what they're doing? They're hesitating. They're hesitating, and that's different than being stuck. Because when people say to me that they're stuck, it sounds kind of permanent, right? I'm stuck. But hesitation, when you're hesitating, it means that movement is still available. And hesitation usually sounds intelligent in your own mind. It sounds like this. I'm still thinking about that. Let me think about that. Let me get some clarity on that. I'm waiting for the right timing to feel the right vibe so that I can make the right move. All of that, that's the thinking, that's the hesitation. A lot of times, your nervous system is simply trying to protect you when you're hesitating. All it's doing is protecting you from perceived discomfort. But growth, my friend, almost always requires some temporary discomfort. Another thing I'm learning, if we're going to grow, we've got to embrace some discomfort. Growth requires temporary discomfort. There's a reason people admire disciplined individuals. Because disciplined individuals are not afraid to grow. Discipline moves independently from emotion. And that's kind of a rare thing to say, but it's true. Discipline isn't waiting for feeling good. It's not negotiating with itself. There's a line from Young Jeezy. You didn't know I could even listen to Young Jeezy, but I do sometimes. There's a line from Young Jeezy that always stayed with me, and it says this: everybody can tell you how to do it. They never did it, though. Movement changes perspective. And centuries before social media even got into that, Seneca, the Stoic, said, we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. You know what that means? You know why that line still applies? Because when we think about it and we imagine all the things that could go wrong, and we're constantly analyzing, we paralyze ourselves. Some people have mentally exhausted themselves by rehearsing the outcomes they've never even attempted to face. And it's strange. The more you think about it, the more you hesitate around it, the less likely you are to do it, because your brain will find reasons for you not to do it. So here's what I want you to do today on Making Moves Monday. Identify one thing you've been delaying because you don't feel ready, because the time is not right, because you've got 1,000 reasons not to do it. I want you to identify that one thing. And then ask yourself, what would movement look like in the next 24 hours for me? I'm not asking about perfection, just movement. What would taking a step in that direction look like? Maybe the movement is getting back into the gym, trying again for something that you failed, taking the next shot that you're hesitating on, sending the email that you're debating about, finally starting your business, whatever it is, asking for help when you need help, having the tough conversation, setting a boundary, whatever it is. Maybe it's even simple like this. Wake up earlier, go to bed earlier. I speak to myself. Small movements matter because momentum is psychological before it becomes visible externally. And stop making your emotions the boss of your schedule. It's not about what you feel. Kobe Bryant put it this way: I don't negotiate with my emotions. I don't negotiate with myself. Don't let your emotions be the boss of your schedule. If your actions only happen when motivation appears, your consistency will always be a bit fragile, and you don't want that. Professionals and pros and the elite, they move even when things are uncertain. That's a skill, to operate even in uncertainty. Don't let it paralyze you. Take a step. What did the ancient wisdom say about faith without action? How did it describe it? You remember, faith without works is dead. Not limping, not washed up, dead, okay? So it's very important to understand this. The longer you wait to move, the heavier the move becomes. And sometimes the anxiety you're trying to avoid is actually being created by the avoidance itself. You know, it took me a while to grasp that in my own life. I've used anxiety as a way of avoiding things, and it just made me more anxious until I realized, dude, it's the avoidance, your own anxiety around avoiding this thing that is making you more anxious. So I'll say it again. Sometimes the anxiety you're trying to avoid is actually being created by the avoidance itself. All right. Look, we don't need more motivational quotes. What we need is proof. And proof comes when we take action. Yeah, you need evidence so your future self can trust what you're doing today. Because you know what confidence is? Another way to what confidence? Confidence is memory. It took me a long time to understand that. And why do I say that to you, sweet spotter? Why would I tell you that confidence is memory? Because I've seen it working in high performance environments. The best athletes, the closers, the best performers, the best doctors, the best surgeons, and I work around some amazing surgeons and doctors. I work around great attorneys. I work around great individuals, athletes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. Confidence is, I remember that I can do that. Confidence is memory. When you remember what you could do based on your actions, based on the fact that you made moves before, you become more confident. When you're looking at a confident performer, you're looking at somebody who's remembering what they're capable of. Confidence is memory. Your brain remembers the promises you keep to yourself. So today, making moves Monday, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect vibe. Move anyway. Don't let the fear stop you. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's a book. We got to get to that book. I've been saying that for months. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. You're tired? Move while you're tired. Move uncertain. Move uncomfortable. Move before your confidence catches up with you, because action creates momentum. And momentum creates belief. And belief changes how you walk into every room after that, because you took an action. That's the standard. That's the standard on this Making Moves Monday, sweet builder. This is your standard. And all week long, we're going to walk according to this standard, that you're going to take action before you're 100% sure. All right, now, you've been listening to The Sweet Spot. Science, soul, and success, baby. That's what we do here. Protect your energy, trust your work, keep building, and I'll see you tomorrow for Take Action Tuesday. I promise you, it'll be awesome. Now, if you liked what you heard today, I'm asking you to please subscribe so we can build our family together. And if you know someone who could make a move today, who could use this message about building momentum through action and through movement, share it. Love and blessings. I'm Dr. Sweet, and I'll see you tomorrow.